What's up, guys? Russ Anderson, Anderson Security Consulting, Private Investigations, Security Consulting, Executive Protection. Links for social media as well as a company website with a contact page will be in the description below. So, video number 3 in my series about the most common ways successful people wind up getting, especially rappers and guys that live in the hood, wind up getting deleted or put themselves in harm's way. So, you keep 1 foot in and 1 foot out of the streets. So how many times have we seen it where someone has a successful rap career? They're making money. They're millionaires. They're making millions of money that they don't have to look over their shoulder. Yeah, sure, they got to pay their taxes and everything else that goes along with it, but that's just part of the game. We all got to pay their taxes. Shout out to Uncle Sam. Love you. Paying my taxes. Don't worry. But then, okay, look at the case of Fetty Wap. Fetty Wap. At one point, he was on top of the world. I know he was making some new music, but he recently he was trafficking a bunch, like thousands of pounds of illegal substances. We won't go into that because it's not important. But the problem is he got caught. He got busted. Now, his issue just wound up with Uncle Sam. They caught up on him. I think it's a federal charge, so he's going to wind up doing some time. He's going to do some serious time. Hopefully, he'll have time to reflect, and maybe he'll make some new music and come out strong, and he'll still have that voice. He got a tremendous voice. Guy's an incredibly talented guy. But he kept 1 foot in and 1 foot out of that street life. Now, on a more local level, and I've seen that here. In Orlando, cases I've worked on where guys were making money in the rap game. They weren't super rich, but they were certainly making more money rapping than they were hustling. But they stayed in that hustle mode. They stayed in that street mode. Look at the case unfortunately, the case in Atlanta with YSL and Young Thug. This guy's worth $50 million and he's still ordering criminal activity. Why is he doing that? And so you put yourself in harm's way. He put himself in harm's way. He put his people in harm's way. People are talking about how his boys ratted on him and everybody turned over on him. And look, we'll go into the whole street code thing. I don't think the street code really exists the way people think it does, because every time we turn around, someone's violating the street code. So he's facing a lot of time. He's facing the fight of his life. At the end of the day, he's got no one else to blame for himself. You've got so much money that you've made. The estimate is that he was worth about $60 million. You're worth $60 million and you're still running criminal activity, allegedly. Everything's alleged because he has not been convicted of these things yet. But ultimately, here's how else you put yourself in harm's way when you're doing that stuff. You get into that street life. You're hustling, you're making your money doing the rap thing, and you're still getting into fights. You're getting beating people down. People are getting jumped. Look what happened to Tupac. Tupac signed his own death warrant. He signed his own death warrant. Unfortunately, he got involved in some stuff he shouldn't have got involved in. The guy's got the world by the tail. He was arguably one of, if not the most popular artist on the planet at one point. And you're jumping people, you're participating in jumping people in Las Vegas, like you shouldn't be doing that. And so what happened? Well, the guy they jumped was a certified gangbanger. Like, this dude was a certified head splitter. He was a wig splitter. And so he was like, no, you know what? I'm not letting this 5 foot 7 inch tall, 150 pound rapper get in on beating me down. And so they caught up with him. Him and Suge Knight, and Tupac wound up getting deleted. He wound up losing his losing his fight with the multiple gunshot wounds, as most people do. So once you get to a stage where you're successful, and I'm not advocating street life or street activity or criminal activity in general. Don't get involved in that stuff. It's a one-way street. You don't win that game. Nobody wins that game. No one. No one in history has ever won that game. You might have some temporary success, but ultimately everyone loses. So stay out of that game in the first place. But I know some people are going to get involved in it, because we're realistic. We're not going to be, we're not doing a pie in the sky thing. So don't put yourself in that position. But if you are in that position and you find success in a legitimate avenue, right? So that's the goal of most criminals that I've ever spoken to. They wanted to legitimize, the smart ones anyway, the intelligent ones that were thinking forward. They wanted to legitimize their activities and not be involved in the street activity. So they would use their street activity to fund their legitimate activity. When you keep one foot in and one foot out and you're doing both, you're leaving yourself open. You're leaving yourself open for litigation. You're leaving yourself open for retaliation, like what happened to Tupac. You're leaving yourself open to prosecution, like what's going on with Young Thug and Fetty Wap. There's so many things, so many things can go wrong when you still live in that street light, which can cost you your life or your freedom. So, again, it's your boy Russ Anderson. Link in the description below for the company website, social media, private investigation, security consulting, and executive protection. All right, your boy Russ, I'm out.